What's up, guys? This is UMB Universe. Welcome to another episode of my story breakdown. Now, before I get started, I think it's actually a really good thing to tell those who are interested in my story that if you have been reading my story and are not caught up are caught up with what you remember last, I guess I could best way I can put it. I have started uploading more pages now. Yesterday was the official day where I just sat down and did a bunch of pages on Photoshop and just uploaded them all the way through. What I like about Photoshop is when I feel like putting color into something, I can actually just do that now. So makes things a lot better on a lot of accords. Also, it makes a lot of particular scenes where you have to have the same background in something much easier just to take that layer, copy it, and put it down to another frame, and then makes things so much easier. So it actually helps make pages faster if you really think about it. But the only thing I'm trying to get used to is still drawing on a screen compared to what I am drawing on a piece of paper, because if you look at my drawings on the paper and then see it transition over to Photoshop, you can clearly see that my lining is a lot smoother on paper than on Photoshop. So give it time. I'm pretty sure the quality of it will reach a point where I don't have to put that much effort into it, because one official page where I have to line it and all that sort of stuff will take so long that I'm never going to get the story done at that point. So I'm still going to keep with the rough sketches that I've been doing with my on paper, just to keep the story going. And then maybe later down the line, whenever I get done with it in year 2084 or something like that, I'll finally be able to, line it up afterwards. So, well, that being stated, we're going to get started with the continuation of Sketchbook 3, while I continue on what I believe will be Sketchbook 12 of Chapter 2, I think I'm in. It's still going to be weird taking Sketchbooks still, since I'm no longer using Sketchbooks as like a base of how the arcs are going. So, we'll see what happens. So, where we last left off, I showed like the exterior of the DEO department, and I already explained the hierarchy system of what's the most powerful DEO sector to the weakest DEO sector. And now we get to, from what I remember from most of the people who comment on my story, a very niche character in forms of likability in the story. And it makes sense. I made her specific. So this is Olivia Suzaku. Or you just call her you can just call her Olive. Olivia, okay, what can I say about you that isn't going to just give away exactly what your character traits are, except, what I already constantly show you in this page right here. She's the leader of the DEO South. DEO South is considered to be the weakest in the hierarchy, just to reiterate, and she's reprimanding Yoko for all that he's pretty much been doing right now. He sees that he's down one arm, and that his mission was nothing more but filled with casualties, and he even messed up on not listening to the debrief, because in the debrief it said they had to get these two particular demons, but he went after two separate demons. So not only did he do a mission completely recklessly, he didn't do the mission that he was assigned to regardless. So to say, Olive is pissed, and continue on that, I'm very proud of this face. Like, if I had to explain Olive's character in one panel, it would have to be that panel right there. I mean, there's no other thing about it with her. She's a leader. She's a leader, and she tries to show how hard fought that she got this position, and is trying to keep face on that position. And Yoko not taking things seriously is definitely pissing her off. Main things that she doesn't like is the fact that the fact that he didn't really listen to the debrief. You put so many you put your squad in casualties. He was supposed to bring an entire platoon of people, but he just brought a squad. And let's just say there's a huge difference in man numbers between a platoon and a squad. and the main thing that he's down an arm. This gets revealed. What gets revealed on the next page is Yoko points out that Olive is getting so heated in the moment that she's showing off her wings. This is my introduction to show that angels are on the planet now, and they're really interacting with human society in a way. So by seeing that Olive is an angel, and not only an angel, an Omega angel, as I explained, that Omega angels can only be told by the wings on her back. being manifestations and protrusion of their soul coming out of their body, manifested as wings. That the other leaders of the DEO are also Omega Angel, not Omega, Alpha Angels in some way. We're going to get to Omega Angels later. But she calms down a little bit. She is telling Yoko that all this shouldn't be happening, and slowly but surely revealing that Yoko himself is an angel. He is not a human, as originally depicted. And this ties into other reveals and slight mentionings of particular things that I showcased throughout Yoko's first introduction with that encounter with the two demons. In that he is also an angel, and he is highly respected among Olive, and that she doesn't understand how can he be this reckless if we go deeper into what Yoko angel lineage actually is. So moving on from that, Yoko explains that he uses his body to attack them because he had his own particular reasons, and he said he's not going to use his weapon until he uses it on a particular person. Every angel has a weapon. Every angel manifests as a weapon of their own accord that fits their particular type of fighting style. That fighting style can vary between a long range, short range, mid long range, short, mid range, that sort of stuff. So the angel will manifest that specific weapon for their purpose. And Yoko's weapon revolves around something I'll explain when he gets to it, when it actually gets revealed later down the line. But Yoko's weapon is something that he's not planning to use until he fights a particular person. Now, the thing is about an angel's weapon is that the more the angel doesn't use it, the more holy energy that will be manifested inside of it. So let's say you first create, you're an angel and you first create your weapon, it's going to be in its weakened state. And a weakened state can be anywhere from, if you have a sword, it can be a short sword to be as long as a dagger. But if you keep it inside your being long enough, let's say a few years, it not only grows to be as long as a broadsword, but it can also be as big as a buster sword. That sort of thing. So the more energy you keep inside you and you don't use your weapon, the more energy you will have, and thus you'll be more prepared. So it's always good for an angel to always use their weapon when the need calls for it, which is why whenever they use their weapon, at least alpha angels, whenever they use their weapons, it's mostly during an encounter with maybe a demon lord or a very high-ranking demon that they need to use their weapon for. But you'll never just see them running around with their weapon all the way when they're fighting small fries or even just out and about. When Yoko tells Olive that he's not planning to use his weapon until he fights a particular person, Olive brings up that if he's still thinking about this whole grudge thing that he has about this person, that he needs to get over it, because Olive is straight lace when it comes to how she is an angel. I have many different types of angels in my story, but Olive would have to be the primary angel that takes everything on a literal front when it comes to God and how he works. So basically, if you're a human and you die through unforeseen circumstance, you just die, and Olive has all the need. She has all the power in her being to bring you back to life or make it so that your death is not an accident. She's not going to do it, because if you die, it's God's plan. God expected you to die at that point, so she's not going to give two shits about your life. She's just going to let you live it, and if you die, tough shit. She's not going to, even if you have some type of relationship with her, even if she respects you as a person, if you die, she will not mourn your death, she will not shed a tear, because she knows if you were a good person, you're in heaven. Who gives a shit about being alive on Earth? Your whole point of being alive on Earth is to progress as a person, to make the right decisions, and if you continue to make the right decisions, you get to go to heaven. Congratulations. GG, no re, have a nice life. She does not care about human life as a byproduct of what you are. So basically, whatever happens, and if anything seems rather insensitive for Olive to say and do, just know it's on the mindset that whoever dies is probably in a better place right now. And if you weren't a good person, then you're in hell, and she didn't have any reason to care about you to begin with. That's the whole thing with Olive's character that seems to rub people the wrong way. And I'm happy, because that's kind of what I was going for, because there are people out there like that, and there are angels that I read about that are like that as well. So Olive is just the embodiment of a person who looks at life as nothing more than just a step into the afterlife, which actually does matter. So with Yoko being heartfelt on not cooperating with Olive in any way. She says to use his weapon, he refuses. She says to take things more seriously, he doesn't. So on and so forth. So she has to make drastic measures and fire him, basically. Just take away his rank and make it so that he's branded as a unhonorable discharge, I think is what it's called. No. I think unhonorable discharge just means that you do something like to your other officer. I'm not that well versed in the military. It's been a long time since I've been in the ROTC, so my knowledge of that is actually a little shocking. But it's along those lines where he's not like he's not looked at as ill will. He still has some monicum of respect amongst the other soldiers in the compound, but he has to leave. He's more of an endangerment to the rest of his team than he is an asset. So he accepts this. He doesn't fight it whatsoever because he understands that if he acts like this, he has to go with the consequences. So he's about to leave. As he's leaving, he's saying he's going to laser off the tattoo because a tattoo is supposed to be a representation of the fact that you're part of this family now. You're part of this. You're part of the comrades in arms against this demon threat. So now that you're no longer part of us, you have to get rid of whatever is symbology of what that of what your platoon was all about, so on and so forth. So as soon as he leaves, we see Olive's like true nature a little bit of how she feels about this entire scenario and how she did not like having to do that. Turns out Yoko is the one who helped her learn how to fight, so that means a lot, and that gets touched upon a little bit later, like far later. It's something I've actually gotten to, shockingly, but it does get explained when she brings up that little tidbit, showing that Yoko is not just a comrade, is not just a friend, but actually a teacher, a person that she really looked up to. So it makes all the more heart-wrenching that she had to do that. But Yoko, being Yoko, he overheard her true nature on that side. Really happy that she doesn't. He knows that she doesn't actually hate him for what he's doing. So after that, he runs into Haneri. Haneri is here only so he can talk to Olive at this point. So they have a little back and forth, and this is the point where I subtly reveal that the reason why Yoko is acting this way and says that he's not using his weapon is because of greed, and specifically the Lord of Greed, aka Maimon, for those of you who remember from previous episode story breakdown. Haneri is explaining that he shouldn't be acting like this because vengeance, that sort of stuff, that's not an angel's thing. An angel should never work on vengeance, should never work on revenge. Only have God take that for you, because whatever God is doing, God is going to handle that situation in due time. It may not be specifically the type of speed that you expect or want when it comes to wanting to get back at somebody who did something wrong to you, but it's something that will happen eventually, so you have to keep faith that that you'll feel solace in knowing that sooner or later will happen. That sort of deal. So even Haneri is pointing out the fact that the injuries that he's seeing aren't anything new to him. He's an alpha angel who's going out into war so many times that seeing people lose their arms and their legs and even their heads is pretty much just commonplace to him. So he didn't even notice that Yoko's arm was there. Yoko's arm wasn't there. So they're going back and forth. They're talking about their situation and saying that he has to leave soon, very soon. He's also going to be taking Judah with him. And they go back and forth and say that he was a great angel for his time, but even the greats can fall on their tears eventually. So Haneri completely understands what's going on. He doesn't really have to pry Yoko for any more type of information that he already thinks he can glean from this conversation he's already had with Yoko. And then Yoko reveals that if it wasn't for the fact that Olive needs to constantly be a boss, that he would find her extremely attractive and cute and basically just say things to have Olive overhear him this time and just be Olive. She's not going to show that she thoroughly appreciates all the words that Yoko said, because I will reveal that Yoko and Olive were a thing in a past, and now they're not anymore. That I don't know if I actually will say I touch upon that. I don't think it's that serious to have like have like a situation where I show them being in a developed relationship. I'm still debating it. I mean, I still have various opportunities to do so, especially one particular point in chapter 3, but not right now. So she overhears that. She plays with him, messes with him, saying that, hey, you have to be discharged in like an hour, and that's fine. That means we have enough time to have like a going away party with each other. And even if it takes a little bit longer, I can easily extend that time period. It's fine. It's fine. And Yoko's doing his best to try not to have this situation because he wants to tell Judo everything that so he knows that they're about to leave because Judo and him are father and son currently. So anywhere he goes, Judo has to go as well. So he's panicking. He's trying his best to diffuse the situation. But Haneri says, no, there's no worries. I'll go get Judo for you. It's fine. You go spend time with Olive because you two had a thing with each other, so I'm going to let you guys have that. Yoko is still trying to pry and say, no, let me do it. It's fine. And after really showcasing that Yoko has no say in this matter, is that Haneri was here for Olive. He's like, then Olive's here. You can talk to her. Haneri is a nice guy. He sees the situation. He's going to let his friends be friends. Say, my information for Olive is not that serious. I can just go do this favor for you, Yoko. And plus, it's just telling your son you're about to leave. It's not a hard thing to do. So go spend time with your friend before you have to leave and probably not see her for a long time. And so on and so forth. So slowly showing that Yoko knows more than he lets on, trying to do this himself because here's the thing about Judo, he's never actually encountered an alpha angel like Haneri. I need to specify this. Judo has never actually interacted with an angel like Haneri. He's interacted with angels like Olive because he's been part of the same division, and another alpha angel that we'll get to later. But when it comes to Haneri, he's special, and I'll explain the specialty with Haneri when we get to it. But after losing the conversation, basically, he gets dragged away, and Haneri goes off, and then we get back to the scene where we see Judo's human friends. And we get more of their personalities and what they're going back and forth with, and seeing that Vec's leg is now has full feeling back into it. Because when you're using a cell block seal, I was showing that even though your body is healed, you're still gonna feel numb because the healing process still takes a little bit. So they're just testing to see that his nerves are all working. So they're talking about how Leo was talking about how great of a distraction she was. I mean, she is proud to be a distraction. Like, nothing you can tell this girl is going to make her say that being a distraction isn't the best thing in war. Because if it wasn't for her, a lot of people can't get the drop on other people. So, and if you really take into account, the only way to beat fraud demons, the most powerful version of demons that come out of hell, is to fool them. Distractions are the best team members you could have in wartime. So, I like making Leo happy of who she is. So continue on from that. I show that Vec and Judo kind of have like a, not Naruto and Sasuke relationship. I guess the best way I can put it is like Naruto and Sasuke. You have Naruto character who's more of just a straight good guy who tries to be nice, but then you have the asshole who's just being an asshole because he's an asshole. But he believes being an asshole is better because the nice guy trope can only get you so far in war. So the more Vec tries to eat away at Judo's nice guy attitude, the more he can be better suited into battle, and that's the whole thing with Vec. I also want to showcase that Leo is, in fact, still really good when it comes to stealth and distractions. She is a competent soldier, even though with the type of personality she has. So she just runs up and stabs Vec in the chest to prove how stealthy she can be, because she was very stealthy in the previous fight, and just trying to prove to Vec that she shouldn't be made fun of. I could have used this moment to showcase that cell block seals, no matter what damage you get, will always heal from you. So it's like a little dark humor thing in the soldier force where they can just kind of shoot each other and be perfectly fine afterwards. But I just made it so it's just a joke. It's just a retractable knife. It's not really gonna hurt him. It was just for shock value for Vec because he's kind of an asshole. So just trying to increase the friendship bonds here, and also having it so that Judo and Nina were just distracting Vec as Leo was trying to do all that. So it was just a practical joke, all that sort of stuff. And then we have Tio here. I think after the next page, I'm going to say something about Tio, because the whole thing about Tio's character is that Tio and Leo are literally ripped straight from the Homestuck comic and placed it on here. Personality, design with hair, and all. And so he says this is his retractable knife. He writes something down on it, and then he throws it with pinpoint accuracy, despite what I told you. He actually can't see. he actually is not he actually not one of those anime characters who has hair covering his eyes and he can still see for some reason. Nope, he's practically blind. He even asks, did he hit him? And he did. And he did. Vec gets it. Vec gets the knife. Vec gets the knife and sees that the knife says, "Hey, is he going out with Nina?" Now, this is the slow burn on like small things. I don't know if you ever watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and if you have, there was this one thing I really liked that they did with Korin and Yajirobe. In the movies, you see it mostly in the movies and sometimes in the show itself when the need arises. But in every movie, they slowly but surely show the relationship develop between Yajirobe and Korin, and showing that they're with each other, and then that slowly but surely gets more and more like they're becoming more and more together. And then in the Broly movie, you see they just got married, and it's like I like that. I like that slow burn in showing that these two are gay, they are in a relationship. They're going out, and you see the payoff in like one of the movies. This is me doing that to an extent to a minor character, because again, I'm still debating on whether or not I'm gonna make these characters any more than what they are right now. So we'll see about that. But Tio in the Homestuck comic and Tio here is gay, and I found it interesting because it was my first time really writing a gay character, like legitimately writing a gay character. Why is Tio gay? Because the friend I based him off him is gay, and I thought that would be fun. In fact, it was the entire thing. Since this is pretty much not going to be seen by many people, I think it's perfectly fine for me to say this. I once had to draw, in the Homestuck comic, my friends told me that they wanted to see their characters get with a Homestuck character. And when I say get with, I mean with explicit detail of getting with characters. So you're looking at a guy who actually drew at least 2.5 pages of a gay sex scene with Tio, one of my friends in high school, and Carcat from Homestuck. Why did I do this? I don't know. I guess I was crazy, and also I wanted to see if I could do it, and it further showed that I am perfectly secure with my life because I felt nothing. I did feel something, but it's not something that you would be willing to hear me say out loud. So, all in all, I'm proud to say that Tio is the slow burn character. He's asking Vec, is he going out with Nina, because Tio is interested in Vec, and I will say I will slowly show more of that relationship dynamic, whether or not it's actually going to happen. But I found it interesting, and I thought I would give it a shot, but I think I'm failing right now, which is why I'm happy this isn't the final product, and this is all still very, rough stages of how I'm developing things. But yeah, I just find it interesting to be like that type of stuff. It's the betterment instead of just making them this overly flamboyant. Hey, I'm clearly gay for no discernible reason other than hey, inclusion. No, when it comes to inclusion, I think the best way to implement anything in life is to make it normal. And the whole deal about being normal is you don't put that much attention into it as much as you will put in attention to anything else in life. So there's that. Now, continuing on from that, Haneri is on the scene. He catches the retractable knife, says it's really dangerous, regardless if this thing is fake or not, just to just throw this stuff around. But hey, you guys are so skilled in your craft that you should be able to catch these things with your eyes closed and throw these things with pinpoint accuracy without even using your eyes, thus showing that Tio has achieved that sort of level of skill. And Vex still has a ways to go. So he's here to pick up Judo. He's just here. They show their respect because Haneri is an alpha angel and a high-ranking authority figure. So they show his respect, standing at attention for him, saying that Yoko has been disbanded, so he needs to get out, and he just wanted me to let you know, Judo, that to leave. Tio's upset. Leo is upset because she really likes Judo. Upset that he has to leave. He's one of the reasons why she likes being in this squad. And it's also going to be really terrible because, well, they really like Yoko as well. So this is actually a pretty big hit on not only their morale or everything else revolving around their entire group. But Judo tries to explain that it's fine. This is going to happen. I'm pretty sure whatever's going on, things will be sorted out later. And then he repeats the same words that he said to Claire when he used to be Judas. So it shows that the personality of Judas is still there, especially when it comes to finding particular friends. And not sure if you really noticed, but his friends were 2 guys and 2 girls. And if you look at the roster, you have 2 guys and 2 girls. So yeah, he has a very particular set of friend set. He has a very particular friend set that he kind of just sticks around in. So continue onward. He goes with Harry, goes over to his living quarters so he can get chains out of the soldier garb and put in what we would probably guess what he'd be wearing if you remember the prologue. So they go. So they have a little bit of a chat about. Yoko and what's going on and where he's going to be going. Because apparently they used to live in a small house somewhere across the way, so they're just going to be living there if that's really the case. And basically, the conversation is just supposed to be them initiating some type of mutual respect toward each other, knowing that since he's Yoko's son, he has some skill. He has some skill himself, and he's just doing his job, and everyone's just doing what they need to do to continue moving on the structure of things. So he takes off the zipper that's on the soldier garb and puts it on his clothing wear. And yes, we now see fully that yes, this is in fact Judas, because who else would wear something that stupid? So after getting that, this is also the page where it's revealed that to Judo that Yoko is an angel, because apparently Yoko has never told Judo that he was an angel. He always was under the impression that he was a human. And in the next page, Judo explains that he kind of saw it coming. It's not like he's that surprised that he knows that Yoko is an angel, because the things that Yoko says doesn't make any sense. Because if you hit a demon, if you're a human and you hit a demon, your body won't crack out of way out of existence. That's not how demons work, and that's not how humans work. Only things that crack away by touching demons are angels, because demons are basically, you could say, made up of sin, and angels are pure souls. And if sin gets in contact with something pure, it starts to eat away at them, making it extremely cancerous and dangerous for them. So prolonged exposure to touching something that is bad for you, like a sinful demon, will utterly obliterate your body if you are an angel. But if you're a human, you're perfectly fine, because the whole thing with humans is that they're part of like the neutral territory. The whole thing about humans is that they can go to heaven or hell. So when they're human, they are in a neutral party until they make a decision once they're about to die. If they truly forgive themselves for any bad thing they have done, or they embrace the fact that they are a bad person. So that's when they go from neutral to Paragon or Renegade. That's how that goes. In the rest of this page is just Aneri saying, yep, not only is Yoko an angel, he's one of the most powerful and well-known angels out there. So I have to say, yes, it is kind of weird that he stumbled this much at this point in time. So that's slowly revealing more about what Yoko truly is. He is an angel, but just how strong of an angel is he, now that we know that there is a hierarchy system of how powerful angels can and cannot be. So Haneri says, when it comes to Haneri explains that the whole reason why Yoko's body was cracking way out of existence is what I just said with the whole sin thing. But the whole deal about angel having such a pure soul is that the whole thing with humans, if they interact with humans, humans get like a huge morale boost. They start to feel all the goodness inside of them manifests more and more, and it gives them it's like having like a huge shot of coffee, being up and ready to do anything. And you don't want to give that a shot. And I tried to make it as authentic as possible, because I didn't want to just give you a reason. Okay, Haneri's here. Judo, Judo's a demon. What is the reason why they would touch each other to reveal that in fact that he is in fact a demon? Well, why not explain why angels exist on this planet and to support humans to begin with? And that is because thanks to their pure-hearted souls, they can give humans an added boost in their abilities thanks to that pure-heartedness. And Judo being Judo, he's interested in that sort of shit. So that's what leads to this handshake. And then if you know anything about stories, this is when it gets showcased. Haneri finds out that Judo is a demon. being Judas, and just reacts the best way I can have Haneri react. Instead of trying to kill Judo, trying to do something that an angel would probably do situationally if met with a demon threat, he just locks him in his room. Because he's trying to understand exactly what the hell just happened, because he was under the distinct impression that he was a human, and Yoko, being the father and an angel himself, would know this as well. So he's processing this as much as feasibly possible. So he locks him in and starts to go where you think he's about to go. And I also have a line here that says, the worst thing about being lied to is knowing you weren't worth the truth. These lines of dialogue, these lines of like a particular thing that's happened, is again another slow reveal into something that will happen, I believe, at the end of chapter 3. It's either the end of chapter 3 or the start of chapter 4 where I revealed that, or to be more specific, I think it's arc 5 or arc 7 that I show why these lines of dialogue just pop out of nowhere in the midst of some scenes. And it's supposed to be someone saying this as this is going on, seeing the situation that's going on at hand. Is like, yep, that's how that works. That's why he's so mad. He's not mad that he was lied to. He was mad that he wasn't told the truth. Doing that, he's one of Yoko's friends, and that's pretty heartening. So it's kind of like the Japanese you sneeze if someone's talking about your thing. Yoko senses disturbance in the force and believes that something has been revealed, that the one thing he was trying to avoid, the reason why he was trying to fight off Olive and not trying to do this whole going away party thing, is because he knew that if Haneri were able to find out that he was a demon, that things would go south really fast. So he just had to deal with whatever is coming to him and just kind of go with the flow. So he's with Olive on the rooftop, and they're just having their moment, because Olive truly does care about Yoko. She can be hard, but she's only hard like that because she needs to show like an authoritative figure when she's part of an army that needs to take out demons for a living. So I also show here one of Olive's like hit or miss niche character traits that may or may not get like a proper resolution later down the line in the story, in that she's a drunk, and she gets drunk really easily. One sip of any type of alcohol can put her into a drunken stupor. So the whole thing with Olive, and the whole thing with Olive, and the whole thing with angels in general, is that they actually have the capability of breaking down whatever is in alcohol and making it so they can't get drunk. Because here's the thing about angels: they don't have blood, and they don't have anything circulating through their body to allow alcohol to even mess with them, because they're made of hard light. The hard light souls, to be very specific. So the only reason why she gets drunk is because she wants to be drunk. The whole thing with angels is that unless they want something to happen, they can let it happen for various things that I reveal later down the line in the story. So they can choose to be drunk if they want to. They can show bleeding if they want to. They can breathe if they want to. They can do anything they want if they feel like it. So depending on the personality of the angel will depend on how human they wish to be. Yoko, for instance, is showcasing that he's trying to be human so much that he's showing bleeding. He's shown bleeding. He's shown using various methods to showcase that he is using the same kind of seals as them. All that sort of stuff. Continuing onward, onward, and onward. Yoko's entire being revolves around the fact that he believes to be human. So he has human limitations. Same thing with Olive right here. She can choose not to be drunk, but she feels like it. So as she gets drunk, she says that she's just upset that she has to let Yoko go. She really cares about him, and is still trying to really wrap her head around why he's being so uncharacteristically bad at his job. And Yoko says, hey, I slip up sometimes. I'm apparently just not as good as I used to be. It's fine. You do your job, I do mine. We're all going to be fine in the end. I'm doing this for my own purposes, and I'm clearly not going to change, because the main reason why I'm being discharged like this is because I'm not using my weapon. And I'm not using my weapon until I fight him. And since I'm not fighting him, I'm not using my weapon. You see the problem here. You can't keep me here forever, because I'm just going to cause more damage than I am. So they have a little soft moment together. soft moment to get her. Olive asks just how cute that she actually thinks she is, and he just says 7.5 out of 10. Not enough water. Sort of deal. She gets mad, pulls out her weapon, and this is me showing just how pissed she actually was, threatening him like that, saying they're gonna get into a fight then, and then if they win, they're gonna just scale up to a 10. Because Olive can be playful, especially when she's drunk. And Yoko obliges, saying, fine, you think you can win just because I have one arm? Ha, let's try it. Showing again that it was because of Yoko that she even learned how to fight to begin with. So, continuing on that front. But then we have a person crashing the party. Hey, Haneri, how you doing with your pissed off expression? And he, instead of, being a like-minded person and saying, why did you do this particular thing outright, he's just asking questions that Yoko should already know, and Yoko is just obliging with these questions and saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Olive is confused, as she should be, and Haneri is about to get into a confrontation with Yoko at the end of Sketchbook 3. Now, this is how the whole thing goes. Haneri believes for harboring a demon and endangering the very existence of his fellow angels, he has C.9 treachery, aka Circle 9, the sin of treachery. So for him harboring a demon, he's lying to every single person, every single angel that he's ever came across, and essentially making it so that if think about it this way. If you bring a bomb on a plane, you're basically lying that you don't have a bomb to all the people checking you if you have a bomb, and then you're endangering the lives of everyone else on the plane because you want to blow it up. Think about that, but with judo. Yoko has a bomb, being judo. He's bringing them in where other angels are, and angels die instantaneously if a demon even hugs them wrong, and that's the whole deal with this entire situation. So thanks to Haneri finding out that judo's a demon, going after Yoko like this, because this is a very, very, very serious deal. And it's even more serious when you find out what happens to an angel that commits a sin on their own accord. Because there's a difference between a pure-hearted soul trying to fight off the fact that it's being obliterated by sin, and what happens when a pure-hearted soul embraces sin in of itself. And I think I'll talk about that next episode. Yeah, because it gets more and more like apparent and obvious as to what happens. Because all I will say is, if you know anything about fallen angels and what Lucifer is, it's basically like that, but like characterized as like a very specific thing that angels are afraid to do accidentally, let alone intentionally doing on their own accord. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I gotta say for this ending bit for this sketchbook. I can't believe we're actually this far into my sketchbooks here. We're getting started in Sketchbook 4, and Sketchbook 4 and 5 are essentially shorter than any other sketchbook, because unlike the other sketchbooks that were 70 pages, the sketchbooks that I used for those two arcs situations were 50 pages. So yeah, we'll see what happens later, and hopefully you guys are still enjoying this. And again, if you are interested in the story, just know that I am continuing on progressing through the story thanks to DeviantArt. So more pages will be out as time goes on, where it used to be nothing for like several months, and then maybe 10 pages at the very least. So this is Doing B Universe. See you guys next time. Bye.